Emmerdale review. Marlon's alive, April's not a killer, and Kev's not dying. It's been a dramatic week. We're glad Marlon's not dead, but what will happen now? Our Emmerdale review this week has left our heads spinning because what a week that was. There was twist after twist after twist, and we barely know what day it is after all those surprises. There was the whole Marlon's dead trickery. There was the confirmation that April isn't actually a murderer after all. There was a revelation about Bear and about Kev. And there was a wow moment between Jai and Carrie. Now we've gathered our thoughts, here's what we've got to say about the action this week. Marlon and April. Marlon and April took center stage this week as they shared some proper time together. It was great at first. Mark Charno is an absolutely brilliant actor. When he gets the chance to really flex his acting muscles, he proves just how good he is, and he did that this week. Plus, Amelia Flanagan is obviously great too. The scenes where the pair were sharing memories and messing about were equal parts heartwarming and heartbreaking. And then, April told Marlon everything that had happened to her, and that was brilliant too. We were so relieved when Marlon announced they had to go to the police, but then it all sort of fell apart. Rye burst in, brandishing a gun, he shot Marlon, and Marlon died in April's arms right there on the cottage floor. Except it was all happening in April's head. That bit, at least. In reality, she hadn't told Marlon anything at all. And now we're feeling a bit cheated. We were so invested in the episode, really responding to the father-vided-by-daughter bonding and April finally opening up to her dad. We were desperate for April to ask for help and relieved when she did, but instead we're emotionally wrung out for no reason. April's story hasn't changed, the plot hasn't moved on in any way, and we're also wondering what will happen when Marlon does eventually find out because we're not sure we can go through all that again. Callum's alive. Marlon's not the only one who was raised from the dead this week. April's victim, Callum, also turned out to be alive after all. We knew it. The surrogacy plot drags on. Charity managed to swerve Sarah coming to her baby scan this week, and so the surrogacy story rumbles on. There is no good ending to this tale. We even found ourselves thinking shockingly that maybe Sarah will die before the baby's born, and then it won't be a problem. Sorry, Sarah. We were quite amused by Sarah looking at the album of her baby photos. She and Jacob were cooing over the many pics. We were just impressed that teen mom Debbie thought to take so many snaps when she gave birth to her secret baby in a shed in the woods all by herself. Kev, Robert, and Aaron, off 4 of me. Well, wasn't this whole love triangle a twisty-turny roller coaster this week? Robert and Kev were renewing their vows, and Claudette was very excited about it. But Victoria found Robert's vows and realized they were the ones he said when he married Aaron. And then she gave the vows to Aaron, and Aaron realized Robert really loved him. Yay! And at first, Robert was going to fess up to Kev. Dangerous. But then he and Aaron agreed to wait for him to die before they properly declared their love. Kev had another heart scare, and Liam asked some questions about his medication, and it seems Erev has been fibbing about exactly how poorly he is. He did say he'd done it to keep Robert, which is quite sweet, but not really sustainable. In fact, it is basically exactly what Angie Watts did to keep hold of Dirty Den way back in 1982 EastEnders. For those of you too young to remember how that turned out, let's just say not well. Plus, we thought Kev had been released because he was dying. If he's not dying, shouldn't he still be in prison? It's all a bit confusing. Bear and Anna are captives. Is there no end to Celia and Ray's evil empire? Not content with dealing drugs and breeding turkeys, it now turns out they're involved in human trafficking too. And poor Bear, Patty's dad, is one of their captives, and so is Anna. Things look very bleak for them all. It's a nasty business. We're looking forward to finding out more in Bear's special episode. Meanwhile, Rye was getting to know Laurel. He was quite sweet with her, but it was funny when Rona and Marlon crashed their lunch and then insulted Celia, unaware that she was his mom. Rye didn't like that one bit. Poor Laurel. She deserves to meet a nice man. One who isn't a drug-dealing, teen-tormenting, turkey-breeding, human-trafficking mommy boy.